You've got questions, we've got answers. We have the man to answer them, Jeffrey Levine from Buckingham Wealth Partners. Jeffrey, welcome back to another episode of Ask the Hammer.
Hey, Bob. Good to be with you as always.
Good to have you, and I'm glad you're here because I have a reader question. It goes like this. My wife and I are newly married, and we will be filing taxes as a couple for the first time. Should we file married filing separately or married filing jointly?
So there's no way to say for sure what someone should do. However, broadly speaking, if people are interested in minimizing their tax liability, most of the time you're going to end up filing married joint. That tends to produce the lower tax bill, entitles you to more benefits under the tax code, lets you do certain things you can't do if you're married but file separate returns. Now, that said, there are always exceptions to the rule. For instance, if one person has their own business but the other is a much higher earner, the higher earner may phase the business owner's own income out of the QBI deduction. That could be up to 20% of that lower business owner's income for the year. So it always depends. But in short, if you're looking to save money on taxes, generally speaking, you'll file married joint. Now, why would anybody file married separate? Again, there are some limited cases where for actual dollar savings, it can make sense. But more often than not, it's because you don't trust your spouse. You see, when you file a joint tax return, you are saying there that everything is both of yours and that you are jointly liable for the information on the return. So if it ends up not being accurate, with limited exceptions, you're both going to be responsible for the tax bill. If you get divorced, if one of you loses a job, if there's other issues, you are both responsible for that tax bill, again, with very few exceptions. So you want to be confident that you trust your spouse and that the information that they are reporting on the return is just as accurate as the information you are. But if that's the case, more likely than not, you will file a joint tax return as opposed to a married filing separate tax return if your goal is like most people's goal, which is to minimize your tax liability for the year.
Right. So I'm going to throw out another possible exception. Eager to hear your thoughts. If someone there might be an age difference between the couples. One is, say, 65, the other is 60. The 65-year-old has lower income and might not be subject to IRMA based on their income, but would be subject if they filed married filing jointly.
Yep. Yeah. There's always, oddballs here or there. And I guess you could throw that one under as well. It's just, it's just one of those scenarios where you want to look and candidly, like if you're working with a tax professional, IRMA is a really interesting one because if you're working with a tax professional, most professional software at least will, they have what I like to call like the idiot test, which says, at the end of the return, if you're about to file it and there's a way to improve it, there's like a little button that says, hey, idiot, are you sure you want to do this? And so that's the case. You will oftentimes see a professional turn around and say, hey, this may not work. And some more widely available software that individuals can use to do their own tax returns may offer that as well. But it typically doesn't include non-tax items. And even though IRMA is kind of a tax, it's not included in taxes. So that would be a really good one to highlight. It's just one of those where you've got to look and take in consideration everything. I've seen individuals who may do things married filing separate because they get certain local tax breaks or local services that that look at only their income, et cetera. So you got to know your own particular situation. But bottom line, most people who are married and want to have the lowest possible costs when you add it all together will ultimately end up filing married, but jointly.
All right, Jeffrey, once again, much appreciated you answering our readers' questions.
Oh, my pleasure. And if you've got additional questions for Bob and I to tackle, let us know. Give us an email at askthehammer@buckinghamgroup.com. Again, that's askthehammer@buckinghamgroup.com.